Would you believe a single $100,000 investment could generate more wealth than 10 years of your salary? I didn't either until I did it myself. Look, I'm not some real estate guru. I'm just a dentist in Louisiana who's actually drowning in $300,000 of student loan debt, working 50 hours or more. Then I discovered something the ultra wealthy have been using for decades, while the rest of us, probably yourself included, was told to save more and cut back on your coffee from Starbucks. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how you can build a 7-figure real estate portfolio without becoming a landlord, quitting your day job, or taking on a huge amount of risk. Now, I'm not talking about flipping houses or becoming a real estate agent. It's about 4 wealth generators that we're going to talk about today that can create an unbelievable passive income machine that's going to pay you every single month, whether you work or not. Now, if you're tired of trading time for money like I used to be, stay with me. This could be the most important financial advice you watch this year. Let's get into it. So let's talk about the 4 wealth generators of real estate. Let me start by getting all of us on the same page about why rental properties are so powerful. I call these the 4 wealth generators of real estate. The reason that I was able to create a significant amount of passive income while still running my dental practice. Let's get into it. Number 1, cash flow. This is the extra money that's going to land in your pocket every single month after all your expenses are paid. It's the income minus expenses. Simple as that. But here's where most people mess up. They underestimate their expenses. Make sure that when you're doing this, you're accounting for everything when calculating your cash flow. Number 2, appreciation. Real estate tends to what? Go up in value over time. I understand that back in 2008, we had a situation where prices really went down. And prices do occasionally drop, but historically, if you can hold on to a property long enough, you're going to see it appreciate. This is exactly why cash flow is so vital. It gives you the ability to hold properties even though the market's going up and down. Wealth generator number 3. Real estate has something called loan paydown. Back in the day when I was working, paying off my student loans, me, Jeff, the dentist, the periodontist, was the only way that was paying down the loan. With real estate, when you buy real estate, you typically get a loan from a bank. The beautiful thing is, over time, your tenants are the one that pay down the loan, not you, not me, not like I used to be. So you might start off owing $200,000 on a piece of property, but eventually you're going to owe nothing. Your tenants are essentially buying the property for you. It's fantastic. And number 4, just as fantastic, are the unbelievable tax benefits you get from real estate. I rarely hear many of the financial gurus out there that are always spouting information talk about this, because the tax advantages of real estate are unbelievable. If you haven't looked at the IRS code lately, which you probably haven't, but if you did, it was literally written to incentivize real estate investors and business owners. That's pretty much it. Between depreciation, expense write-offs, 1031 exchanges, you can really reduce your tax burden when you own property. And when you combine all 4 of these wealth generators, when everything works together, that is when the magic happens. And that's how this creates this millionaire status I was talking to you about. All right, let's do a little bit of math. So I'm going to keep this real simple, keep the numbers simple so you can follow me. Let's say that you bought a single family home for $100,000. You're going to rent it out. You put 20% down, which in this case is $20,000, leaving you with $80,000 mortgage. Easy enough? All right. Because you bought a cash flowing property, remember, wealth generator number 1, you're actually making $200 a month in positive cash flow. Let's assume that, remember, the income coming in from you renting this out and the expenses, average you're going to make $200 to $300 a month in profit from a rental. We're going to go with the lower number, 200. That's going to be $2,400 a year. going straight into your pocket. After a year, a couple things are going to happen. Your loan balance is actually going to go down 80,000 to, let's just not even factor in the interest, 78,500 or so, something like that. Average appreciation, 3% across the board. So now your property, it's worth $103,000. And remember, you've collected $2,400 in cash flow. So you've actually gained $6,900 in wealth from this one property. When you combine all these things together, just in the first year, not bad, right? But here's where it gets interesting. The process actually speeds up over time. You start paying off more of the loan faster, and the property continues to go up in value. So by year 10, your original $100,000 property might be worth $130,000, but you only owe maybe around 60 grand on it. That's $70,000 in equity, plus you've continued to collect cash flow, $24,000 over the last 10 years. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Jeff, that's only $94,000 or so after 10 years. It'll take forever to reach $1 million. Here's the secret that actually changed everything for me. Once you figure out how to do one deal, you can do another and then another. And you don't have to do a small deal, $100,000 property. What if you bought a $500,000 fourplex or duplex, something like that? My point being, the same principle here applies, but just the numbers get bigger. But here's where most busy professionals hit a wall. When I first considered real estate investing, I quickly realized, probably like you, I didn't want a second job. Treating patients full time, dealing with kids' activities, and keeping my wife happy, that was enough, okay? I didn't want to be a landlord or deal with tenants. That's when I discovered something that completely revolutionized my approach when it came to real estate investing. Passive investing through something called real estate syndications. And here's the great part. All these 4 wealth generators in a real estate syndication where you're a passive investor, it still applies, but without the headaches of being a landlord. Let me give you an example. Let's talk about how syndications work with these 4 wealth generators. Well, with syndications regarding cash flow, you pool your money as a limited partner with other investors to purchase a larger property like a mobile home park that I love, RV parks, things like that, self-storage facility. These larger properties typically generate stronger, more consistent cash flow than just a small single-family home. You receive your share of the cash flow through typically quarterly distributions straight into your account without lifting a finger. That's cash flow. Appreciation. These larger properties, they often have more appreciation than those single-family homes because their value is actually tied to the income coming in that they produce. And then when you have experienced operators come in, they improve the property, they're able to increase the rents. The property value can really go up a lot in just a few years. Number 3, remember, is a loan paydown. Just like with that single family home, the tenants in these larger properties, whether it's an apartment complex, mobile home park, RV park, whatever, they're the ones that are paying down the mortgage each month. As a limited partner, as an investor in the syndication, your portion of the equity grows as the loan gets paid down. And last but not least, probably the best part of this is the tax benefits. Syndications often provide even better tax advantages than just owning properties directly. Through cost segregation studies, and you can accelerate the depreciation. You'll be able to shelter the majority of your passive income that you're going to be getting from these investments from taxes. Sometimes creating paper losses while you're still continuing to receive the cash flow. So literally it's offsetting the taxes on the money that you're putting in. And here's the part that really takes the stress off of you. When you partner with operators, they're the ones who have to go out and find the deals. They have to secure the financing. They have to manage the property. And all you have to do is just sit back and get your distribution. So they have to share their profits with you. In essence, you're getting all the benefits of owning outright real estate without any of the headaches. Now, this actual approach has allowed me to grow a 7-figure real estate portfolio while still being able to focus on my dental practice and spending time with them. Because look, right now, your biggest money making tool is whatever you do for a living. If you're a doctor, if you're a dentist, if you're an attorney, if you're a plumber, HVAC person, whatever, you've had the most training doing that. Once you start pulling your time away from that and dealing with tenants, that's when your biggest wealth generator goes down. So if you can stay focused, continue to do what you know best, the more money you make, the more you can put it into properties to get the wealth generators going. In my opinion, this is truly the high income, busy professional's path to real estate wealth. You can leverage your capital and the expertise of other people while continuing to do what you do best. In my case, dentistry, in your case, whatever. I hope this helps. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.